The aim of this presentation is to focus on the harsh reality of FGM in sub-Saharan Africa, and within this presentation I aim to answer my question: what impact is educational programs having on eliminating FGM in sub-Saharan Africa? By identifying and discussing different educational programs available to people in sub-Saharan Africa. The focus of this presentation was based on sub-Saharan Africa due to high concentration of known cases. However, FGM is still carried out in other areas of the world today. UNICEF 2013. FGM stands for female genital mutilation. UNICEF 2019 explains FGM as being the complete or partial removal of female genitalia. Other forms of FGM involve partially stitching up the vaginal opening to stop girls from engaging in premarital sexual activities. The World Educational Blog 2017 outlines the mutilation and violation can happen at any age and lead to devastating consequences. Matthews 2011 argues there are four main types of FGM that are practiced: clitorectomy, excision, inflammation, and finally other forms of harmful practice. The practice of FGM is shown to have no health benefits whatsoever and can lead to serious health conditions later in life. UNICEF 2019. It is seen as a religious, cultural, and historical tradition in many cultures and has been around for 2,000 years. It is still a problem today in the 21st century. However, UNICEF 2019 and other partnering organisations have been arguing for this practice being completely eradicated due to the non-beneficial status and the problems it causes for women and girls later in life. This being said, it is also argued by WHO 2020 the eradication is not so simple due to the different opinions based on communal and cultural groups. Matthews 2011 and latter 2018 argues the impact of FGM means male have the control over female bodies, their roles and capability for sexual fulfillment. It is also identified to be carried out as a traditional process for women to undergo before adolescence and portrayed as a rite of passage into womanhood, and encourages women to not lose their virginity until marriage and preserving family honour. This slide demonstrates the statistics of current practice of FGM as an overview of the World and Women's Statistics Project 2015 share these statistics to provide an awareness to the public of FGM practice, now stating the low or very rare numbers of cases across the globe, but identifies the high number of FGM cases still in sub-Saharan Africa, as at least 26% in some areas, more than half have been subjected to some form of FGM. This directs to why the presentation is discussing the impact of FGM in sub-Saharan Africa today. UNICEF 2013 demonstrates the impact that FGM is still happening in sub-Saharan African regions. As seen on the map, Somalia with 98%, Guinea with 96%, and many regions with over 70% highlights the heavy practice of FGM processes in these regions and areas today. These countries still practice FGM as a form of female control within their communities and see it as a traditional process that young women must undergo. Following on from the visual maps, there is an abundance of statistics to demonstrate FGM practice in sub-Saharan Africa. Koreatel 2018 states there are over 2 million known cases in sub-Saharan Africa alone. UNICEF 2019 argues this is only estimation, as it would be reportedly higher due to the unreported cases that occur every day. Also, UNFPA 2019 states over 3 million girls every year are still subject to FGM today, and the harsh reality of many of these children undergo this by the age of 5. Also, UN 2015 states 45 million girls are out of some form of education. This has a prime effect on FGM statistics due to if girls are not going to school to learn about the dangers of FGM, they are more likely to promote the practice when they have their own children and support family members in continued practice. These next two slides will address how policies, laws, and education within schools and communities have played an influential factor in reducing the numbers of FGM in each year. It's identified that in Africa more generally that 16 nations have made the practice of FGM illegal. However, in 2003, FGM permitted and limited due to the Protocol of the African Charter of Human and People's Rights, simply referring to Gender Equality Programme, United Nations 2019. Wettatel 2014 also states the United Nations Convention of the Rights of the Child 1989 and the Education Act 2002 played an influential role in reducing the numbers of FGM cases as they raised the awareness of the rights of the child and the importance of education. However, discussing there are 45 million girls still out of education, the practice is still dominant, therefore showing policies are only partially effective due to the importance of training attitudes in the local area and communities. Matthews 2011. Education can play a huge role in FGM, as latter 2016 and 2018 emphasises that women who are educated the horrors of FGM are given the knowledge surrounding FGM are more likely to stand up and speak out against this. Water et al. 2018 argues that health education is important with reference to eradicating FGM, as it advises women the health risks that are associated with the process. These will be addressed further in the presentation. It can advise that for education of doctors and teachers of identifying signs of the individual that have undergone FGM, how to handle these situations sensitive and professionally can have an influence on continued of FGM within these communities. UNICEF 2013. For example, UNICEF Action Aid 2020 and other partnering organisations provide regular workshops to people in the community and allowing a positive discussion to allow people to learn of the dangers of FGM and the importance of family health. By giving professional workshops and discuss how FGM can affect women's health, such as labour, it allows FGM cutters and families to identify the connection between FGM and stillborn babies or obstructed labours compared to if women do not undergo FGM. It's evidenced by Action Aid 2020 and Women Aid 2020 that from attending these workshops, positive discussion can begin to happen through understanding and empathy, and women share their own stories through the community. It's also identified within the ICRW 2016 and the World Education Blog 2017 that older parents are more likely to subject their daughters to FGM because of the lack of understanding and education within their communities. Therefore, providing workshops for cultural leaders of the community and older generation members of the community, changing their attitudes and providing them with factual information means they are more likely to stop FGM from continuing. It is identified that United Nations 2019 Sustainable Development Goals, such as Goal number 4, Quality Education, and Goal number 5, Gender Equality, are linked to the elimination of FGM. Quality education correlates with the idea of educating girls away from traditional ideas within society, allowing a good quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities. Goal number 5, Gender Equality, correlates with allowing women to understand they have access to the same right and opportunities as men, and understand the importance of stopping domestic violence with families. United Nations 2019 Sustainable Development Goal focus on FGM because it is identified in 2000 there was nearly 1 in 2 women had been subjected to FGM. However, there had been a slight development, as in 2017 report 1 in 3 women had been subjected to the harmful practice. This shows there is a progress in working with communities in eliminating FGM, as there had been a 24% drop since the year 2000, which shows from quality education being shown to communities and promoting the importance of gender equality, ensuring universal access to sexual health, allowing women equal rights, communities are coming together to decrease the numbers of FGM cases. The United Nations aim to meet the gender equality and quality education goal by the year 2030. However, there is a long way to go before these goals can be met due to cultural and traditional attitudes that surround the concept. UNICEF 2019 state there are no health benefits to correlate the process, and this leads us to question why the practice is still being carried out. 2KRL 2018 argue there are many processes are carried out in unsterilised environments with measures of no antiseptic or antibiotics, which leads to harmful physical and psychological consequences such as PTSD, depression, and anxiety, which causes difficulty and discomfort within their development. Most of these processes are carried out by older members with no medical training and can cause infection. Matthews 2011 and Waller Global Fund 2018 argue these 2 points a high risk of infection. Latter 2015 explain a lot of women have complications during childbirth as well. Finally, it is argued that FGM causes severe bleeding, problems urinating and menstruating, and also painful when having intercourse. The focus of this presentation was to demonstrate the impact of educational programs on eliminating FGM in sub-Saharan Africa. From this is evidence that educating individuals on harmful practice of FGM was most effective strategy presented in literature due to the opportunity it presented to allow women who have had experienced FGM to voice their opinion. Not only this, it is also identified that if women are educated on the risks and dangers of FGM, it can allow them to not subject future generations. UNICEF 2013.